Welcome back to Every Other Carl. I'm Carl, and today I'm going to be installing an attic fan. The reason I'm installing this fan is because we are in the second floor unit of this two-family house that we own, and it is incredibly hard to keep it cool. We don't have central air conditioning. We have two window units, one in the bedroom and one in the living room. There's only one other main room in the house, and that's the kitchen. But the kitchen has a counter and only one window. You don't want to stick an air conditioner in the only window. It's also kind of a waste of power when, with such a small apartment, two window units should definitely be enough. Let me show you what we're dealing with temperature-wise. I'm outside right now, and in the shade, it's 79 degrees. Back inside, in the ambient temperature in here, 78 degrees. Now let me show you where it gets intense in the attic. So up here, things change dramatically. The surface temperature on the floor of the attic here 93, and then up on the roof we've got 115. Now I don't love the way this attic was built, but barring a major redesign and reconstruction, I'm going to deal with what we have here, and what we have is two gable vents. This is a pretty simple like A-frame roof, and there's a gable vent, one on that side and one on this side. So the idea is that the whole roof will be vented through these gables. There is also a ridge vent up here above this like king beam up at the top there, but there's no soffit vents, which is kind of a mystery to me. I don't know why they built it the way they did. I don't love the way that there's only two gable vents, but what I'm going to do is install an attic fan to create a crossdraft, and that's going to keep this space a lot cooler. Now today isn't even that hot of a day. It's only 78 degrees outside. And the sun just came out, so it was shady all morning. It's now about noon, and it only became sunny. So 115 degrees is kind of nothing for this attic. It can get up probably 135, 140, maybe even 150, maybe even more, I'm not sure. And that starts to get dangerous for the shingles on the roof. So having a cooler attic space is going to help those shingles as well. There's many other things that you could do to improve this situation in your attic, but an attic fan for me is a good first step. This is the fan I'm using. Just picked it up at Lowe's. I'll leave a link to this one and a couple of others in the description below. While you're down there, you can subscribe to my channel. This is a 1320 CFM, which is not the biggest vent fan that you can get, but I don't want the biggest fan because I don't have the largest attic. My attic is pretty small. It's about 20 feet wide and about 40 feet long. So technically, this fan is capable of cooling down a space that is 1,900 square feet. That's more than double the square footage of my attic. But the actual roof is only about 2.5 to 3 feet above the ceiling. So there isn't that much cubic footage of air in here. Also, I just want to create a cross draft. That's the primary goal here. I could even do that with probably a smaller fan than this one. What you deal with when you start putting an attic fan in is if you don't have a large enough gable vent or soffit vents on the other side or on the soffits of the house, you're going to start creating a negative pressure zone up there that's going to pull air up from anywhere it can get it. And that's going to be any openings in your ceiling. I have this attic ladder that is not really well sealed, and it's going to start sucking air out of the actual apartment here. It's going to pull air through holes for lights, holes for fans. Anywhere it can get air, it's going to start pulling air up into the attic. If you wanted to do this job like a true professional, you would seal every air vent in here. This is especially important if you have central air conditioning because you're pumping conditioned air into the unit and you don't want that to be pulled back out, wasting energy. I don't care so much because I'm just using two window units and this place gets too hot as it is. So if I extract some of that air through some of these openings, I kind of don't care, and it might even help the situation. One thing I am concerned about is making sure these gable vents stay clean and clear. If I had soffit vents, same deal. I would make sure that those stayed clear. Because as you're pulling air through, you want to have the maximum airflow that you can get. Otherwise, the fan is going to be forced to suck more air out of your unit. So I have a bit of a bee's nest in here, an old one. I don't think there's anything in there. I'm going to clear that out and make sure the other side is clear as well. Now, being that it is 115 degrees up there, it is smart to do this either in the winter or at night or on just a cool day. But we'll see what time I actually do this job. See how smart I am. So first part of this install is to decide how you're gonna mount the fan to the gable vent. My vent is a square, as you can see, and it's got those 2 wall studs right beside it. I'm gonna create a little plywood template that goes right into those 2 studs, and then the fan can actually screw to that plywood. When you're installing your fan, you wanna make sure that it's pulling air from this actual cavity up here, this room, instead of starting to pull air from that actual gable vent. So in order to do that, you wanna make sure that the room around that vent is sealed. So my piece of plywood is gonna cover that entire space, and then I'm gonna seal it to the actual wall sheathing as well, so that the fan is only allowed to push air out that gable vent instead of suck air in through it. The box actually comes with this handy dandy template on the back. You cut this circle out and use that as your template to cut a hole in the plywood, and the fan is gonna fit perfectly over that hole. If I didn't explain that well enough, just make sure that you close any openings around your wooden fan shroud and the wall, so that air is forced to go out that gable vent. All right, now I'm up here in the attic, and I'm gonna figure out how to cut this board so that it fits perfectly on these studs. It's hot. All right, I got some reference lines. I'm gonna cut it out. I'm not trying to make this pretty since barely anyone is going to see it. These are the little wood pieces that are going to slide tightly in between my wall studs to close those air gaps. You could go a step further when you install this and tape this wood to the wall to fully seal those gaps. All right, I got the fan and the wooden shroud that I built for it right here. Let's see if it fits and then screw it into place. I'm just using drywall screws because this isn't really anything too heavy, but you probably should use better screws. Do as I say, not as I do. Or don't. Looks like I have to trim it a little bit. I'll be right back. And we're back. It's kind of cramped up here. There we go. All right, I'm ready to wire it up. First thing I'm gonna do is turn the power off. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn all the power off. If you notice this little gray box here, that's a thermostat controller. This comes with the fan and will automatically turn the fan on and off at the specific temperature you set it to. I'm leaving it at about 105 for now. I may up it to 110. The electrical isn't too complicated. If you've wired a ceiling fan before, you could probably handle this. Just be careful. If you've never done any electrical work before, you might be better off getting an electrician to do this part. I'm also adding a switch to my setup so that I can turn the fan off completely if I want to. Definitely can't confirm you should do this on a cooler day. I am drenched in sweat, but I think it's all done. So, about to turn the power back on and try it out. All right, here we go. So, switch is in place. I'm going to turn it on and turn the thermostat so that it comes on. All right, it was very hot, but it wasn't too difficult of an install. One thing I want to do is actually move the location of my switch. I have kind of an override switch in case I don't want the fan to come on just with the thermostat. I can turn it off with a switch. I currently have it right next to the fan, but I want to move it closer to my attic ladder right here so that if I don't want the noise of the fan going, even though it's not that loud, if I don't want it, I can just turn it off right here at the attic ladder. So that's something that I'm going to switch, but other than that, I'm going to come back to you in about a week and see if this has made a difference. All right, it is 1 week later. I'm going to give you a quick update on the fan and show you the temperature differentials and let you know that this actually has very much improved our ability to cool down this second floor apartment. Check this out. All right, outside temperature, we got 80 degrees. Inside, 74. And up here in the attic, 92 on the floor of the attic. On the roof, we've got 98. And oh yeah, here's my new switch. Put it right up here so that I can override the fan if I want to turn it off. Very easy to access from the attic ladder. So, doing the math there, if you notice at the beginning of the video, the temperature differential outside it was 79 degrees. At the hottest point in the attic, it was 115 degrees on that day. Right now, the outside temperature is 80 degrees, and the hottest temperature in the attic is 98 degrees. If I'm not doing the math correctly on this, please correct me in the comments below. But at the beginning of the video, 115 degrees in the attic versus 79 degrees outside, that's a 36 degree difference. Right now, it is 80 degrees outside and 98 in the attic. That's an 18 degree difference. That's massive in terms of cooling the attic, cooling the ceiling, and saving our roof shingles. Basically, we were dealing with a 45% difference between outside temperature and attic temperature at the beginning. Right now, we're dealing with a 22% difference between outside temperature and attic temperature. And yes, it has definitely made it easier to cool off our second floor unit here in this 2-family house. All right, I hope that video was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave it in the comments section below. Please subscribe to my channel. If you like the video, like the video. Until next time, I'm Ever the Carl, and I'll see ya.